So just to let you know some of the books that you can buy that they really love, um, the Brown Bear, the Polar Bear books, any of those books by that same author. I can't remember his name. I want to say it's like Carl. I can't remember what his name though. What his name is. The Five Little Monkeys book. If you don't know what they are, look them up on the internet. But they're super good books. I don't know why, but the children really loved them. They had really great illustrations to them. Uh, they loved Where the Wild Things Are. They had a fascination with books about monkeys and about monsters. So I don't know if that was a good or bad thing, the fact that they wanted to read books about monsters, but anyway, there you have it. The Dr. Seuss books, they weren't as successful as I thought they would be. They were better for the older kids. The older kids really liked them, the rhyming kind of words and everything, or the kids that knew English. For the other kids, for some reason, they had a hard time sitting through a book because they usually wanted to know what was going on in the book, and in Dr. Seuss books, sometimes nothing's going on. So anyway, as far as like reading the books, I would, at the very beginning, maybe the first or second time that I read it, I would translate it and let them know what was going on. But then, third, fourth time, I would just read it all in English, and it was surprising how well they caught on to some of those words and phrases. And oftentimes, in reading some of the books, the very same actions that they knew from the freeze game would come up in the books. So, you know, if we're looking through a Five Little Monkeys book and they're all taking a bath, I might say, "What are the monkeys doing?" And by the end of the year, they could totally understand this question. Or, what are they doing? What are they doing? Monkeys, what are they doing? And, you know, a little child would say, "Take a bath." So that's always good, looking for ways to ask them questions about things, again, tying in, you know, from all aspects of what's going on in the classroom. So those are the books they liked. Just some other side notes of good ideas that I think Liliana actually has a really great book. It's a blue book, and I can't remember what the name of it was. It was like, um, I don't remember, something about juegos or something, but it was a blue book and it was all in Spanish. It was a super good book on a lot of activities, a lot of ideas. And one really great idea that I used over and over and that children really loved it was kind of like the name game. So we'd all sit in a circle, and in the beginning, and what the book suggests was to take like a bat or like a plastic wand or something, or what I had in the classroom was a big kind of like cylindric pillow that was just kind of long or whatever. And you go around in a circle, and each child gets a chance to hold it. And how they play the game is they hit it onto the floor as hard as they can, and they say, "My name is, I don't know, Jue," or whatever. So they get to do all that. Then you can add on to the game. So you can say, "All right, this time, each time when we go around, when it's your turn, you're going to say your name and one thing you like." So you always give them an example, "My name is Lisa, I like school," or whatever. And this is, again, it takes a couple of times of doing these activities for them to actually get it, for it to actually go smoothly. The first time you do it, it will not go smoothly. It'll be chaos. But by the second or third time, probably the third or fourth time, things are going more smoothly. They also like to play that exact same game, but kind of using like other things. So I might pull out one of the materials that they really like. There was like a bat, like an animal, the animal bat, that they all really loved, and I don't know why. But sometimes we kind of do that thing, like, all right, we'll uh, rotate around with this, and whenever you are holding the bat, you get to say your name and one thing you like. Another thing they also liked were crowns, like king and queen crowns. That I had in the classroom, and so we do the exact same thing, but instead of hitting the bat on the ground or holding that bat animal in their hand, they would put the crown on and say their name and one thing they liked or whatever. They also like playing Duck Duck Goose, which was great because we gotta get practice saying duck, duck, goose, but run, sit down, those types of things. Things that they could repeat over and over that they had heard before. They get practice saying red light, green light, and Mother May I were other games they really liked. Again, these are all good ideas, not necessarily because the vocabulary is something they need to know, Mother May I, but just the fact that it was something relevant to them because it's a game that they wanted to know how to play, and if you say, "Oh, you have to play in English," then they very willingly do that sort of thing. Also, just as far as the topics that Liliana will give you each, I guess, month for the whole month, the different weeks, things that you need to go over. I have to be honest in saying, sometimes I ventured from that and wouldn't stick to, if the topic was clothing, we wouldn't go over clothing every single day of one week, just because there were other things, other cool things that we could do, and it's not necessarily the best way to just go over the names of objects over and over and over. But we would go over them, maybe one day that week. So, if that week we're supposed to be talking about fruits, we might play memory with fruit. So we'd have all of those flashcards and we'd lay them down face down after we went over the names, and they get to play memory with it. We also had bingo, so things like that. So games with those kind of words I really loved. Okay, so I think I've given most of the ideas or whatever, the things that we would do a lot in class. I hope that's helpful. Some of the things may or may not work for you. I think really, as far as being successful in the children learning, English, it's really just being sensitive to whatever they're telling you. So, if the children that day want to read a particular book, do it, because basically they're going to learn whatever's interesting to them. If they want to act out one of their books, be like, okay, sure, we'll do that. I was pretty open most of the time, and actually, I think being open and allowing them to kind of direct, and I think that's the Montessori way, allowing them to direct, even as a group, what they want to do that day, it gets them motivated in what they're doing. So, even if there are things that you have to do, like you're supposed to be writing or reading with those children, I found that even giving them the option, saying, okay, what are you going to do today? We can either read this book or we can write, and giving them the option of the two things that they need to do that week, that still allows them to guide their own learning and get excited about it because they feel that they've made that decision to learn that for the day. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I hope that whoever the English teacher is, that you take advantage of every moment, because the school is really, really amazing. And Liliana, I loved being there, and thank you so much again for the opportunity. I can't even tell you, I don't want to cry, but I can't even tell you how much it meant to me and how much I learned. I grew just personally, just being there, and I learned so much about being with children, and learned a lot from you. And I miss you guys so much. Hello to everyone. I missed Jared, but I bet he's not there anymore. And Jue, so give them all a hug and lots of kisses. And we'll be in touch. Bye.